As a wall and floor tiler, if you don't have the necessary study, but you do have experience in your home country, it may not be necessary for you to study that occupation here in Australia. So for example, you may be able to have your skills assessed based on the work experience that you have in your home country. So for example, you may have enough work experience in your home country in order for you to then not have to study in Australia, because you could find yourself eligible for receiving a full skills assessment, but then obviously applying for an independent skilled visa, or perhaps even going for an employer sponsored visa, depending on the experience that you have. So it depends on what visa you're going for. Are you going for an employer sponsored visa? Are you going for a full skills assessment for an independent skilled visa? It really does depend as to what you're going for. What's the benefit of studying in Australia? Once you've studied wall and floor tiling in Australia and you've done the 2 years of study, you now make yourself eligible for the graduate visa, which is a visa that lasts for 18 months and gives you full work rights. This gives you time to find potentially a better pathway to get your residency. So this gives you time to find an employer who may want to sponsor you. This gives you time to, improve your English. This gives you time to then get your points together and begin the process of applying for an independent skilled visa by points. So studying in Australia has its benefits, but if you don't have to do that, you can definitely skip that step as well. As a wall and floor tiler, if you do have experience in your home country and you're looking at getting a full skills assessment, this definitely counts towards your full skills assessments. But what's really important, can you prove that work experience in your home country? So what the skills assessment bodies are looking for is, do you have evidence of having worked? So this could be a reference letter from your employer. It could be pay slips. It could also be a contract. It can be evidence you've received a salary, you've paid taxes. These are different ways of proving your work experience in your home country, which count towards your full skills assessment. Now, some people come to see me and they, as a wall and floor tiler, and they may not have, or they think they have 5 to 6 years of work experience, or they do. But the problem that we find is that they don't have the documentary evidence as a wall and floor tiler to then continue with the work experience for a full skills assessment. So it's really important that you make sure you know who the skills assessment body is that's undertaking this assessment, and then see what their requirements are for proving your work experience as a wall and floor tiler. And the reason for that is it just can be really tricky, can be quite difficult sometimes to prove your work experience that you have from your country of origin. So make sure you keep everything you have, all your pay slips, your contracts, your letters of employment, because that's all really relevant to prove work experience from home here in Australia. As a wall and floor tiler, if you're looking at having your skills assessed by an entity, the TRA, or the Trades Recognition Australia, is the first entity you want to start with. They're the main, I suppose, entity which evaluates skills assessments. But something that comes up, and I don't think a lot of people are aware of this, is there's actually different skills assessments needed for different visas. So if you're looking at applying for an independent skilled visa, there's a specific skills assessment that you need for that. But if you're going to be sponsored by an employer, there's two kinds of sponsorship as well. You may be sponsored for a temporary visa, you may be sponsored for a permanent visa. They also require a different kind of skills assessment. So it's really important that you look at, one, what is my occupation? Who is the skills assessment body? As a wall and floor tiler, it's TRA, but TRA can then tell us, okay, you know what, you're going to need to go and see Vet Assess, for example, or you need to go and see some other independent trades recognition body, because you need a specific kind of skills assessment for your occupation. So this is really important, that you make sure you have the correct skills assessment depending on the occupation that you're from.